Welcome to Tuning Thursdays. USAMPS family got Mike, Larry, and Tony coming to you from the USAMPS R&D lab. Apologize about Tuesday. Obviously, we're trying to keep caught up over here. So, our last video we shared on how to set up your substage. Make sure you were not clipping from your source through your DSP. If you have an LF audio knob or anything else in between, any type of processor, through your sub amp and then to your subwoofers. So today we're going to work on the mids and highs, starting with the source head unit. In this vehicle, we have Alpine ILX-W650 going to our 8-channel DSP. And Tony, we're going to start with you.
All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is go to DMR Engineering's website. If you're listening to a lot of rebase music and stuff like that, and you kind of want to get the most out of your system, go to the -5 dB track. -10 is going to be cleaner, and if you're listening to like lossless and sound quality is of the utmost importance, the bigger dB overlap that you go with, so like a -15 is going to be the highest sound quality, -0 is going to be the loudest. So we're going to go with -5 just because we're trying to get the most out of our stuff right now without pushing it to its breaking point. So I've got Larry sitting in the car right now. He's going to go ahead and turn the volume up for me to, let's say, 33, right, Larry? All right. We're going to hit play on our track. This is track number 4 on the DD1 test tones. All right. So if you come in here and look at
and
the
we
screen,
have our oscilloscopes hooked up to the
This is the output of the radio right here.
Okay.
It's going to the input of this. I have everything else muted except for the one channel that I'm going to be testing on the DSP output.
Okay.
So you can see here we got a clean wave.
Now, how do we know if it's not right?
All right, so go ahead and turn it up to 35, Larry. Let's see if we can get this thing to clip. All right.
You see how it's starting to square off?
Getting a little tooth at the top up there. You see it'll start getting a little peaky, a little spike in there.
And the line isn't perfectly smooth. It has little steps in it.
Yes.
Okay.
So now, Larry, go ahead and turn it back down to 33. Yep.
Give it a second.
And there you go. Smooths out.
Okay.
Now we're going to go ahead and turn that off, Larry.
Every time you take out your signal, your RCAs, you want to make sure that you turn everything off.
All right, so now we're going to hook our RCA back up. And we're going to hook in our female RCA to the output of the DSP.
That's coming out of the channel, the DSP that would go to the amplifier that you're working on.
Now, mind you, I have everything else muted so that we're not going to be running a test tone through our speakers. That is not good. You don't want to do that. If you are going to do it, you need to do it at a very low volume. Whenever you're tuning our AV amplifiers, you need to make sure you have a resistor on the amplifier when you're doing this. If you don't, you take the chance of blowing it, especially if you're running a higher voltage. Anything over like 15.1, 15.2, you're taking a chance of popping the amplifier. All right, Larry, go ahead and turn it back on. All right, so we're going to give the radio a chance to pair back up to the phone. We're going to come in here. We're going to repair to the DSP. Okay. Now we're going to come into our gain section. And we're going to be testing on channel 1 here. Let's go ahead and hit play again on our -5 dB track. This is, once again, test track 4 on DMR Engineering's DD1. All right, so you can see here low voltage. I'm -7 here. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this up until we see clipping. Now, the good thing about having a clean signal in is you can get a good clean signal out. As long as you got a decent DSP, you should be able to pretty much do whatever what it's got available for you. So right now, once this goes over 3 volts, Larry, can you give me 34 real quick? All right, you can see once I broke 3 volts, it rescaled the thing. Go back down to 33 for me, please. All right, it'll stay there now. But you can see we got a good clean wave. And this is all the way at 9 dB on my
Plus
output.
9.
Plus 9. Plus
Oh
9
wow.
on that. So, but you can see it's giving me just right at 3 volts, which is what I'm seeing from my head unit. Well, it's boosting it times 2.
Okay.
So, all right. Now from here, Larry, you want to go ahead and shut it off?
So now we know our line is clean all the way up to plugging it into the amplifier.
Now, I'm going to plug this RCA back in. And you can see I already have my leads installed into my amplifier here in channel 1. All right, so we're going to take our leads.
This is the time for the multimeter.
Well, we're still going to be using the O-scope to measure the signal coming from the amplifier. We're still looking at AC signal. Okay. Now, if we were gain matching, yeah, you can use this to get your baseline voltage and then match off of that with a multimeter if you wanted to. But you need to know where your clean output is.
Okay.
So, all right, Larry, let's go ahead and get it turned back on. I'm going to run this back. Hit play again. Do this. Get in here, turn that on. And get into our gains here. Make sure we got everything off that needs to be off. It is. All right, cool. Now, you also want to make sure that all of your crossovers are wide open for this. If your crossovers are on, you will see a reduced output voltage, especially like with a 1K tone. And I'm like, let's say I'm doing my mid range right now, and my crossover point is 4,200 on the high side and 400 on the low side. 1K will be okay, but if we're doing our tweeter, which is 4,200 on the low end, we're not going to see this 1K tone. So you'll see 0 voltage. So if you come in here, go ahead and take a look. We've got 25.3, kind of nice little clean wave. And once we get to 30 volts on this, it would rescale again, but I can't make it rescale until I hit 30 volts.
What we're reading is the output of the amplifier now.
Yep. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to turn this down, and y'all can watch what happens here.
Ooh.
All right. So we lost voltage tremendously, right? Okay. So that's gain all the way down. All right. So now we're going to rock this back up. Hard to see this old screen sometimes. Yeah, let's go ahead and get it to reset. Okay, good. Now you can see I'm still clean, but I got a little bit of wiggles in there. I don't like that. So I'm going to back it down a little bit more. I'm going to come down a few volts. So let's say 20, right there, 26.9. All right, so now what I'll do is I'll go through with all my crossovers off, and I'll gain match the rear channel to the front channel.
Gain match.
Yeah, basically I will go through with a multimeter, or I can use this as well, and I will turn the back channel up to match that. But see, now what that's going to do is that's going to give you your maximum output that you want to use. Now, whenever you're dealing with this different sensitivity drivers, you're not going to need as much power for the tweeters as you are for the mid-range. So at this point, this is where you need someone that has a good ear to tune for you. So you can turn up to that point, but not past that point. But I won't need that much voltage on my tweeters as that I would use for my mid-range. So you back the voltage down a little bit for the tweeters. But that's in essence, that's where it is. That's the whole gist of tuning your mid-range.
So he said basically about gain matching, because this is a 4-channel amplifier, and you're bridging both the channel, the front, rear, and the front 1 and 2, and the rear.
Not
3
on
and
this
4?
one. This one, this one is a 4-channel that is bridged front and rear. I'm using the front as left and the rear is right for my 8.5 or my 6 and my 8 in the door. This one right here is I have tweeter on 1 and 2, and I have mid-range on 3 and 4.
Okay. Using the 4s on channel 3 and 4 and the tweeters on 1 and 2.
Yes.
But you're getting a gain match because you know that's the most out of the amplifier clean.
Yes.
Doesn't matter anything else. This is all about getting no clip signal all the way to the speakers.
Yep. That is the maximum amount of voltage that I would want to send to it. So that doesn't mean that I have to use all of that. That just means that's you don't want to go past that.
Right.
Now, mind you, as your DC input voltage increases or decreases, it's going to affect this number. So the more DC input voltage you get, the higher AC voltage you will get from the amplifier. Now, but there is a certain point that the amplifiers get to a certain point where they just don't like that high of a voltage no more, and you're taking a chance of frying your equipment.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's
So the only thing that's going to change what you've set from here moving forward is the voltage and amperage that your support is getting to your
yes,
amplifiers.
absolutely, yep. And I'll go ahead and use a multimeter to bring my mid range up to that, and then I will back my tweeters down until they sound right and blend well.
Okay. But now it's time to go into the crossover in the DSP and set everything up.
Yeah. So I mean, if you want to do that real quick.
No, we can do that in another part.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you very much, Tony. I appreciate all your knowledge, and thank you for sharing. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them down below, and we'll answer as we get to them. Thank you guys very much. Have a good day. Take time and spend with your family, and thank you for being part of ours, the US Amps family.